This video is sponsored by Mango Power. How long do you think it takes to set up a solar system for your home? Well, if it's a typical rooftop install, you of course have to get all the permits, the inspections, and the crew has to install the system on your roof. It's not a fast, quick process. However, behind me here is the Mango Power S plug-in solar system, a 1200 watt solar system that I set up myself, and I timed it. So the first part of my setup involved getting the stands assembled and then connecting those to the back of the solar panels. Then I needed to connect the inverters, and I'll talk more about these components shortly, but connect the inverters and get the whole system plugged in and ready to plug into the outlet. It took a little bit over 1 hour and 18 minutes. Now, of course, there's a little bit more setup than that. You need to go on the app and I'll talk about that. But overall, you should be able to get this system up and running in less than 2 hours. So not a crazy long process, not a lot of steps, but nonetheless, I do want to quickly do an overview for this system. And then I will talk about what's in the box, things like that, what comes with the kit. And then specifically, I'm going to talk about the US states that have passed regulations to explicitly make plug-in solar systems legal. So stick around. Okay, let me start with the solar panels themselves. This kit is built around these 300 watt, 4 of these 300 watt solar panels. And these are not some kind of cheap fold-up panels. These are glass and metal frame, black metal frame. They look really nice. These are solid solar panels, just like you would get for any other application. And you can see here, once again, 4 of those. And then within this kit, it also includes the metal frames to go ahead and stand these up on. And then we also have here these microinverters. So we have one of those for each one, and that's important, and I'll talk more about that here shortly, why it's important that we have one inverter for each panel. And then connecting all these inverters together is the S cable. So that's the cable here that plugs into each one of these inverters, and you can see this cord connecting each one of these together. That S cable has a regular AC outlet that allows us to plug this into a traditional outlet and feed the energy into the system. Something important to point out here is you want to make sure that for a system like this that you anchor it down. It does not come with these anchors, but you'll want to have some kind of anchor system. Obviously, if it's going to be out for a while, you could go ahead and bolt this down to something, whether that be something on the concrete or you build something that's anchored into the ground. But for a somewhat quick setup, you can buy some kind of heavy duty anchors and anchor this in. And high winds could really take this system, blow it around and damage it. And so you want to make sure that you secure this really, really well. Don't skimp out when it comes to anchoring this system. You don't want to take your investment and waste it with the wind smashing this system up. Okay, I want to quickly address something about the microinverters that might be confusing to you because it was confusing to me at first. So each one of the microinverters says 500 watts and an output of 240 volts. That obviously would be a problem with a 120 volt household system. However, on Mango Power's website, they clarify that the firmware of these inverters has been adjusted so that the output is not 240 volts. Specifically, it says here on their website, quote, "The Mango Power S Pro is rated at 240 volts, 500 watts. However, due to firmware adjustments made for compatibility with the PI-PV, which is plug-in photovoltaic product, in 120 volt application scenarios, the PI-PV version is configured to output 120 volts at 280 watts. Okay, so with that out of the way, the reason why it's really great that each one of these has a microinverter is because that really optimizes the system. If one of the panels is shaded, it doesn't cut down on the production of the entire system. If you had one singular inverter for the entire system and you shade one of the panels, that can bring down the production of the system more drastically than when you have specifically inverters for each panel. Now, these appear to be some high quality microinverters, and according to Mango Power, they have a CEC efficiency of 97%, meaning 97% of the energy that is sent into this is converted into AC power. That's incredible. And beyond that, they claim a 99.9% MPPT tracking efficiency on these as well. Now, when you make an investment into a system like this, warranty is really important. A traditional solar system that you put on your roof, that commonly has a 25-year warranty on the inverters and the panels. This system is the same. It carries a 25-year warranty on the panels and also for the inverters themselves. That's a really solid warranty and can really bring a lot more peace of mind when you invest in a system like this. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about how a plug-in system like this works, how it puts energy back into your home, and in addition, why it's important for most people to have the smart gateway and what that does. With traditional solar, you generally have an agreement in place with the utility company called net metering. If you make extra power that you don't use, the utility buys it back, or you get some kind of credit for future use. However, that is not something that you get traditionally with a system like this. Here's how this works. Most of the time your house is drawing power. You have things like the fridge, the router, or of course if your AC is on and you have lights on, things like that. Without a solar system or backup power source, the energy to power all that comes directly from the grid. However, when you plug in a system like this, instead of taking power, it pushes energy back into the system, and the solar power flows into your home's wiring and gets consumed by whatever's running, whatever load is running in your house. So this means that you're offsetting a bit of your power consumption, which means you're pulling less from the grid. But that does raise a question. What happens if your solar system is producing more energy than your home is consuming? Well, this is where the smart gateway comes into play. This is an anti-backflow meter. And what this does, this gets installed at the panel of your house, the electrical panel of your house. And it's pretty simple to install, but I did hire an electrician for this step because I wanted to make sure that it was done correctly. But what happens is you basically have two clamps that clamp on the main lines that come into your house, and they don't cut into that, it's just magnetic. It just clamps over and magnetically reads the energy coming through that. And then you have a few little wires that you plug in to feed the thing, and then it communicates with your system, and if the solar system is producing more than the house is consuming, then it will throttle back that and keep it from flowing back into the grid. The reason why this matters so much is because energy export is exactly what utilities regulate. Once you're pushing power into the wires, you're an interconnected generator with all of the paperwork that implies. Now, I do have a caveat here, and I need to make this clear. Per Mango Power's own guidance, zero export is a control system, not a guarantee under every possible condition. Grid rules do vary, and some utilities may still want notification, so make sure that you check your local rules and regulations before you use a system like this. Nonetheless, I'm going to talk about various states shortly that have legislation in place that specifically make plug-in solar legal, and there's a bunch more states that have laws that they're working on in the future. So this is really taking the US by storm, and it's something that's really kind of new and exciting for the United States. Now, by and large, once again, this is a DIY setup. Most people should be able to assemble everything, get it all connected, plugged in, and connected through the phone app in less than 2 hours. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to get an electrician involved. I personally hired an electrician to connect the smart gateway to my home's panel because I wanted to make sure that was done correctly. And in addition, here's something else that is extremely important when it comes to a plug-in solar system like this. So in a traditional home, you're working with 15 amp circuit breakers. You have outlets and lights in various sections of maybe a room or a couple rooms connected to a 15 amp circuit breaker. 15 amps times 120 volts gives you a max of around 1800 watts of output. But I recommend that you connect your 1200 watt solar system to a dedicated outlet. And I don't mean that nothing else is plugged into that exact outlet, but I mean a dedicated circuit. What I recommend is that you have an electrician actually install a dedicated 15 amp circuit breaker, and you plug your solar system into a dedicated outlet that is only connected to that particular circuit breaker. So you have a total of 1800 watts max that could be pushed into that, and there's no chance of overloading that with a 1200 watt system. The reason why that's important is due to the following. Your circuit breaker has one main job: trip when too much current flows through the wire before the wire overheats and causes a problem. But according to my understanding, and someone correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is how I understand it, a breaker can only see current coming from the panel. When a plug-in solar system backfeeds power into an outlet, the current enters the circuit from the other end, and the breaker is blind to it. The solar system supplies part of the load, so the breaker sees a normal reading, even when the total current in a section of the wire could be exceeding its rating. This is something that is referred to as breaker masking. So the best way to do this is, once again, to have a dedicated circuit breaker with a dedicated outlet connected only to that circuit breaker. So that's where you should get an electrician involved. But nonetheless, this is going to be much easier to set up than a rooftop solar system. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the legality of a system like this. Germany has over 1 million of these plug-in solar systems registered. They call it Balkonkraftwerk, balcony power plant. However, in America, it was previously effectively prohibited because of electrical codes that never really imagined power flowing back into an outlet. However, in March of 2025, Utah passed House Bill 340, and this law created a brand new legal category for portable solar devices up to 1200 watts, exactly the size of this kit, that can plug into a standard 120 volt outlet with no interconnection agreement required. However, the trade-off is systems like this are generally excluded from net metering. Once again, which is why that anti-backflow device, that smart gateway, is so important, keeping energy from flowing back into the grid, throttling this system down if the load on your home is not greater than what the system is producing. So Utah started it all, but there are a number of other states that have recently followed suit. For example, these states recently passed legislation: Michigan, Maine, New Hampshire, Maryland, Vermont, Connecticut, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Virginia, and Colorado. In addition, New York and New Jersey, as of the recording of this video, have passed legislation that is awaiting the governor's signature. Also, California and Massachusetts currently have legislation that is pending, that has passed one chamber and is not made into law yet. And then I counted at least 17 other states that have deferred legislation to be decided on in 2027. So this plug-in solar system thing in the US is definitely growing. Now, if you don't live in one of the states that explicitly have laws in place for plug-in solar systems, then it's important that you note that it is a bit of a gray area when you use a system like this, and I recommend contacting your utility company and discussing this with them. But once again, with all the legislation that's being passed right now, this is something that's becoming more and more normal in the United States. Okay, I'm going to talk about some actual numbers for this system. So right now, it's early in the day. The sun is not completely overhead. They are pointed south. But according to the app, it's producing 72 watts of solar being pushed into the house right now. Obviously, that's not very much. That will get much higher, and I am going to insert a clip later on today after it's run a full day and let you know how much energy it produced today. But nonetheless, right now, the system is up and running and it's producing 72 watts. Okay, so it's the moment of truth. This system has been running most of the day, but at 7:30 p.m., it's currently producing 40 watts between the 4 panels. If we actually go to the individual system here, they're actually evenly each producing 10 watts. It shows that today we produced so far just under 4 kilowatt hours. So not too bad. I mean, it was a pretty good sunny day. There was a teeny bit of clouds in the sky. There were short moments when there was a little bit of clouds, but overall that's not too bad. Now, to make expectations clear here, obviously you're not going to zero out your electric bill with a small system like this. You should be able to offset some of your power, but first of all, there's no net metering. So if you're not using power and you're producing it, you're not benefiting from that. So that's something important to keep in mind. In addition, with a solar system, you have a curve up and then it drops down. So you have a little bit of energy generation in the morning, you reach a peak in the afternoon, and then it drops to eventually nothing when it becomes dark at night. You're not producing energy when the sun is not hitting the panels, and when the sun is only hitting the panels at a slight angle, you're not going to be producing as much as when it's perfectly overhead and you have that perfect angle. It's a lot of fun to offset some of your bill and to be able to go into the app. And one thing I really like about the app is you can actually see what each specific panel is producing energy-wise in real time. And then you can look at how much energy you've produced over the last day, week, etc., and track that. And that's a lot of fun, and that's something important to do. So with all that being said, this kit that I have here, once again, is the 1200 watt plug-in power system. This retails with the smart gateway, the 4 panels, the 4 inverters, the stands, the S-plug to connect it all together. That retails, that kit, once again with that smart gateway, retails for $26.98 on Mango Power's website. I will put a link to that in the video description so you can check that out. And if there are any special discounts, I'll also link to that down below. But nonetheless, this is a high quality system. It's built very well. Once again, 25-year warranty on the inverters and the panels. It's something that I can definitely recommend to you, and I think you'll have a lot of enjoyment setting it up, using it, experimenting with it, tracking how much energy you're able to offset. Just keep, once again, realistic expectations with this, and once again, do your due diligence when it comes to the legality of using this in your area. But with all that being said, until next time, thanks for watching.